The United States Army Special Forces operate out of places like Fort Bragg under a strict code. They call it the ethos of the quiet professional. For these elite units, anonymity and absolute secrecy are the mandatory currencies for executing the military's most sensitive missions. Master Sergeant Gannon Ken Van Dyke spent 18 years building a career on that foundation. By 2023, he had ascended to the rank of Master Sergeant within the Joint Special Operations Command. His file was defined by sensitive compartmental information clearances and non-disclosure agreements, legally binding him to safeguard state secrets at all costs. Those clearances gave Van Dyke a front-row seat to the planning of Operation Absolute Resolve. On January 3, 2026, the U.S. military executed a rapid decapitation strike in Caracas, capturing Venezuelan leader Nicolás Maduro and catching the international community completely off guard. The public didn't see the raid coming. But the blockchain proved that someone out there possessed exact foreknowledge of the mission and had already placed heavy financial bets on the outcome. Van Dyke allegedly leveraged the classified operational details of this real-world military extraction to secure over $400,000 on a decentralized digital betting platform. This chart shows the public pricing for an event contract on Polymarket, a crypto-based prediction exchange. In late December 2025, the market estimated a mere 7% probability that Maduro would be out of power. Shares were trading at roughly 7 cents. But the public was guessing. Van Dyke was actively planning the extraction. While the market price hovered in the single digits, his digital footprint shows him running a Google AI query to research the secrecy levels surrounding special operations missions, directly mapping the risk of the trade. To monetize this information asymmetry, he took steps to mask his domestic location. Using a virtual private network, he routed his connection through a foreign exit node. He bypassed U.S. regulatory blocks by funding a Polymarket wallet with USDC, a cryptocurrency stablecoin pegged to the dollar. He bought aggressively. In the days immediately preceding the raid, Van Dyke accumulated over 436,000 shares predicting the success of the U.S. mission, picking them up at a steep discount from a market entirely blind to the impending assault. Phase 4 of the operation launched on the night of January 3. Helicopters from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, crossed into Venezuelan airspace under the cover of a near full moon. The military compressed the kill chain into a matter of hours. U.S. electronic warfare capabilities degraded local air defenses and plunged the capital city into darkness, allowing Delta Force operators to breach Maduro's reinforced compound in under 30 minutes. Hours later, the White House announced the successful capture. Instantly, the digital market corrected. The shares Van Dyke bought for pennies resolved at their maximum value of $1 each. The precise execution of a physical military operation had effectively catalyzed a $409,881 digital payout for the insider who helped plan it. The problem with decentralized finance is its inherent transparency. Polymarket's internal systems immediately flagged the high-volume, perfectly timed trades from a newly created account. As the platform alerted federal authorities, Van Dyke scrambled to move his funds into a foreign cryptocurrency vault and sent a false email to Polymarket begging them to delete his account. Federal investigators cracked the case using simple metadata. They recovered a photograph from Van Dyke's personal Google account, taken at 5:45 a.m. on the morning of the raid. It showed him holding a rifle on the deck of the USS Iwo Jima, the exact sea-based headquarters managing the extraction. To prosecute a member of the armed forces for trading on military plans, the government applied a unique legal tool. Because the Commodity Futures Trading Commission classifies event contracts as swaps, prosecutors invoked the Eddie Murphy Rule, a provision of the Commodity Exchange Act originally designed to stop government employees from trading derivatives on non-public data. The prosecution successfully argued that Van Dyke had misappropriated the property of the state, proving that a military secret can carry a tangible, protectable dollar value. In Caracas, the capture of Maduro triggered an immediate political transition. Interim leadership denounced the operation as a kidnapping, even as the U.S. rapidly lifted sanctions to discuss multi-billion-dollar oil deals with the new regime. Back in Washington, the realization of what Van Dyke pulled off caused a severe reaction. The case proved that unregulated prediction markets create a direct financial incentive for individuals to compromise sensitive government operations. Congress immediately introduced legislation like the Death Bets Act and the Bets Off Act. These bills aim to explicitly ban financial wagering on war, terrorism, and any government actions where individuals might possess inside knowledge. The vulnerability was taken so seriously that the Senate held a unanimous emergency vote to legally ban all senators and their staff from participating in prediction markets entirely. Meanwhile, Fort Bragg is navigating a deep ethical crisis. Internal military investigations are trying to determine if Van Dyke's digital footprint could have tipped off foreign intelligence. The Pentagon is now struggling with the reality that active-duty troops possess market-moving information on a daily basis. The commoditization of global events means the wisdom of the crowd is now uniquely vulnerable to the knowledge of the few. As Van Dyke awaits trial, the military must now account for a world where operational silence is the only thing standing between a successful mission and a massive insider payout.